Welcome everyone, my name is Lady Alex and this is Say What with Lady Alex. Today I will be talking to you about a few of my passions and why I created this podcast. Aside from my photography and my many craft projects, my true passion lies with gaining knowledge and sharing it with people to help make a growing and positive community. On this episode, I'm going in depth with my own journey through adulthood and what I've gained through what I've learned. Thank you guys for coming with us on vacation. We are all the way in Cincinnati, coming straight to you with my solo episode. So, this is something that I feel terrible for even struggling with. It's a true privileged child, poor me story, and yet it's a story that many Americans can relate to. Hello, my name is Lady Alex, and I'm a food addict. Let's rewind. 4 years ago, I was 26 and just rocking my goal weight. I was 145 pounds, a medium-sized shirt, and a regular jean size 10, and I was feeling myself. Now, the picture I just painted could go many ways. I was in love with life and exercising my body, but what you don't know about that girl is not but 2 years before, she was pushing 3 bills. 300 pounds and wasting her time feeling sorry for herself and the choices that she made and stuffing them all down with garbage food. My entire life has been a struggle with food. It's everything from a comfort when you're sad, it's there for you for a celebration, you have to have it to survive, yet too much and you die. You have foods that you shouldn't have emotions about, and yet because you do, you like, love, or hate stuff. The Greeks said that if you have emotions about food, it'll make you fat and gluttonous. Go figure. But most of my story is not just meant to repeat facts that all of us already know about losing weight and getting healthy. My story is about a common addiction running rampant in our country and being the cause of many human complications that are still for the most part unknown. I am almost 30 years old and I have been on some form of diet my entire life. As a baby, I was a chunk. Chunky babies are cute though. Well, what if the normal eating habits develop immediately? A new study has shown that poor eating habits between 12 months and 24 months affects if one is to be obese in the future. If education brings knowledge and knowledge brings us power over these things, why is nutrition not being taught to the masses at earlier ages? If you can believe it, I was born to a young single mom, and as I grew out of my chubby baby phase, a thin, lanky kid emerged. Active and always on the go, we were a busy duo. She worked to support me, and I went to preschool and families' houses where I played and stayed healthy. And then from my own mother's mouth it happened. Overnight, I went from tiny, cute little thin self to waking up needing kid-size plus clothes. Now, as we all know, it did not happen overnight. I was a cultivation of lazy habits and overindulging to satisfy my abundant emotions of a small child. I had a large appetite and a busy mom and a family who struggled with their own relationships with food, and so this obese teenager was born. I was still very active because I was a very busybody, but equally I knew how to eat. At this point, it was no longer my mother's fault. Sure, she helped breed a child who ate her feelings, but it was something I snuck around to feed. After bedtime or, bites of leftovers. But it wasn't until I moved out on my own in Utah with my grandma before I ever actually believed I could lose the weight. I had someone who equally wanted my goals, and it felt attainable at that point. I saw some results, but then, as I spread my newly living on my own wings, I repeated easy habits that kept me steadily gaining. At my new high of 200 pounds, I was mortified. I felt doomed to repeat the same mistakes of the women that came before me, and I was comforted by my excuse instead of taking responsibility of my choices. As life got harder, I relied more and more on the comfort of food and grew my unhealthy lifestyle, surrounding myself completely with food and excuses as to why I ate the way I did. I worked in many restaurants and never truly thought of my eating habits until the moments of hunger when poor decision making was at its highest. And then one day I woke up. I realized I was too special to be hidden behind this fat. And then one day I woke up. I realized that I was way too special to be hidden behind this fat that hindered me. My fat stopped me from pursuing my goals. It made people perceive me in ways that many times stopped my greatness. And on that warm December 2nd day, I realized I was better than the person that I was cultivating to be. I made a decision to learn as much as I could about diet and nutrition, and I created a plan that I thought was doable. I started with what I thought would work best for me, and I stopped eating all dairy and grains for 21 days. Because when I read an article about what happens to your body when you eat a lot of carbohydrates and how candida yeast grows in the gut, eating holes in your stomach and GI tract, I knew I could benefit from the purge like this. I am someone who could live solely on breads and pastas and potatoes alone. So when the article talked about the side effects of candida being intense sugar cravings, stomach irritability, irregular bowels, they felt like they were literally talking to me. As challenging as it can be, it felt easy. I was riding the high of the realization and the knowledge, and I was only thinking of myself and my baby. My friends had abandoned me, my family was stepping back, and instead of letting that loneliness crush me, I put all of my focus on bettering myself. The more I ate better, the more I exercised, the more I worked out, the more the results I saw, and the better I felt. I became quickly addicted to the endorphins and the feeling of my clothes starting to fit more loosely. I met incredible people, I met my husband, and I was truly living my best life. Then a trigger happened. Something I know I'm not the only one struggling with either. My husband and I got pregnant. We wanted another child to add to our family and to complete us, and I allowed myself to fall right back into bad habits that aided my laziness. A slew of fast foods and nightly sweet treats allowed me to regain 70 pounds that I am currently still working on to get off nearly 2 years later. But even now, as I reflect back on my thinner and thicker years, I am left wondering if being healthy will ever feel as natural as it did in 2013, or if I will be doomed to struggle with my relationship with food until I die. Women and men have struggled with weight for as long as man has been around. Instead of a constant need to look for food, a new curse is felt by man. Where is the line between suffering and abundance, and how as a world can we bridge that gap? In today's society, it seems like you either have too much or not enough. But why? Why can't food and nutrition just be something we learn like math and science? Why can't there be a guiding system priding themselves on even distribution of learning these necessities and making rules that stop the terrible fake products from harming us in the first place? For me, the struggle is real. Because now I know the education, and yet the addiction has taken over. I can do months and months of great eating and exercising to fuel my body, but if I stop only once in my preparations, I backslide into old habits. It's something I will have to work on for what feels like forever. Losing weight and being healthy isn't just a temporary solution. It should be a lifestyle change. It's sad to say that the weight loss genre is an $80 billion industry that fails 98% of the time. But it does so because at every corner there is something that fuels that addiction. Without proper education and food reform, there will never be a time we don't see an abundance of weight-related issues. I asked all of you guys on my platforms about the things that you all struggle with, and it's unfortunate that the same issues are happening all over the place. Fast food and processed food are the culprit, but what I truly feel helps this issue for me is pre-planning. Ladies, when I eat the most like crap, it's when I have waited too long to make something for myself, and I'm hungry now, right now, so pre-plan. It's okay to plan ahead. Pre-plan once a week some easy, healthy meals and snacks to keep you on track. You and I know that we're going to be hungry throughout the day, so stop assuming that your body that needs fuel and energy is going to be able to starve all day long and only eat once a day, because 9 out of 10 times, those are going to end up with more calories on your plate and you're not even going to be satisfied. Lots of you out there are going to say full-heartedly that you don't eat more, but honestly, maybe your body needs more sustenance throughout the day to burn the energy you need to lose that weight. I have a beautiful friend, mom of 3 and a kick-butt lady boss chasing her dreams, but even she struggles with her need for tacos. We get it. Consistency is the key to Kanisha's success. She manages to balance her appetite for tacos with a balanced diet majority of the time and consistently works her body daily. This keeps the weight coming off without depriving her true nature for tacos and creating a healthy lifestyle while balancing, providing the ability to attain her weight loss goals and getting her basically everything she wants. And I do have to say, her body is banging. Her energy level is through the roof and she has 3 children. For me, I strive to balance with the 80-20 rule. Giving into temptation foods only 20% of the time and 80% of the time monitoring my intake of processed junk, and that doesn't feed my body. If the body is constantly supplied with calories that have no nutritional value, the body will eat more, causing weight gain, obesity, and disease. The authors of the book, Why Diets Are Failing Us by Peter and Drew Greenlaw, prove what we all know to be as factual, yet somehow we are all okay consuming these exact products on the daily. It's important to sift through the fad diets and find the science behind true healthy products, because so much is out there and it can be overwhelming to find what best works for you. But until you actually start, you won't know what to do. For me, my mindset is everything. You have to get into the mindset that you are doing this for you. This is to get your health to its best, to get your mental state at its best, and to have your own body becoming a finely tuned machine. Because all the knowledge can be there, but without the spark of energy guiding you, reminding you that you are the coolest badass you could ever be, how will you ever know what you're capable of? The Do It program has a motto, and it says, you don't cure emotional eating by removing all the comfort foods. You do it by learning how to comfort yourself. Now, this is an incredible statement. It's a statement that if you skim past this episode too quickly, you will miss. But if you hear it again, maybe it sticks. You don't cure emotional eating by removing all the comfort foods. You do it by learning how to comfort yourself. This is something I think can be quite scary for some. I know when I first really connected with this quote, my stomach dropped out the bottom, because now I'm responsible for my own emotions and I have to take responsibility to move past them. But to take responsibility means I have to admit that the choices I personally have made were completely of my own volition, and nobody but me has the power to make my decisions. And yes, not all of them are great. Not all of them are amazing. Not everything I choose makes me who I want to be. But to pin them on someone else is the start of all of this. It's the start of so many terrible things. And if we don't stand up and move on with our choices, we are forever stunted in our growth and our ability to move forward. The way we choose to take action in our lives is what makes us who we are. It defines our character and decides our fates. And to me, I'm not okay anymore pretending this isn't my fault. I'm finished lying to myself, pretending that I need these terrible foods because this is just who I am. I am an incredible person, and my weight is not going to define me any longer. I challenge you all to stand up to the decisions you are allowing yourselves to make every day and actually stand up for yourself and your dreams and your goals and eat for the future you want. Eat for the future that you know you deserve, because nobody is doing it for you. And everything around us is going to make it hard and make you want to quit. But remember, you're only quitting on yourself. You're only letting yourself hate you for longer. And nobody deserves that. Don't forget to come on back next week where we get to talk to Sherry Mers and how she manages to write a bunch of books and helps entrepreneurs take the time that they need for themselves. If you like this podcast and found any value in my words, please like and subscribe. Snap a picture and post it to your social media, and don't forget to tag me to get recognition in future episodes. That's a wrap.